Senator Mary Moore.
Thank you, Ciarán, and I'd like to thank Minister Cannon for coming to the House this evening for this adjournment debate. Minister, I received representations from the principal of the school in Dundalk in February of this year regarding security issues and ongoing antisocial behaviour that has been reported on school grounds and continues to take place. The school applied for summer works funding and were unsuccessful in both of the funding rounds. I appreciate that schools that were most in need and had the most pressing issues were allocated the funding. Indeed, many schools from County Louth at primary and post-primary were successful, which I do welcome. However, I do feel that this school in particular has major problems, and this school, what they sought external lighting, security lighting and CCTV installation in their application. The consulting engineer for their application advised that they would be listed under Category 3 electrical works, but the school were then advised by the department that their application would in fact be listed under Category 10 for consideration. And I think, as we all know, many of us that were representing schools for funding applications and for the summer works, you know, we were consistently told, well, in the first round it was Category 1, Category 2, that if you were in Category 10, the chances of you getting any of this funding was very, very slim, and indeed I'm not aware of any. The school have been absolutely plagued with break-ins and antisocial behaviour over the past year. They've lost over €60,000 in stolen or damaged equipment, with the principal being routinely called out to the school outside of school hours to deal with the ongoing antisocial behaviour. And I must say that they are fortunate that the principal is such a good principal that kind of when he gets the call, he's straight down and is there on site frequently after school hours. The insurers for the school site are insisting that further measures be taken to improve the security and lighting on the campus. But as of today, the school is in fact still in negotiations with the insurance company to pay for the damaged and stolen goods. In February, the principal had to make an executive decision to reorder and replace the equipment at a cost of over €40,000 to the school, so that the students would not lose out due to the action of others. And again, it's like the catch-22 situation where you've got the insurance company saying you need to put in more money, or you need to put in this security equipment, and then on the other hand, they can't get the equipment. And I think, as we've seen with the decision under the government to replace prefabs and build schools, where that was an absolutely fantastic idea, and as a teacher it was something I wholeheartedly agree, the amount of money that was being wasted on renting prefabs. I think if we invest in our schools and put the money in situations like this where they urgently need security equipment, then in the long run we will save money. Many classes in this school were left without equipment that they needed for the course for many days. So in my view, coming under emergency works, this would be an emergency. If your physical equipment is removed and stolen, then you physically can't have the class the following day. I would stress to you, Minister, that this school relies on certain equipment and technology, and that this was a huge loss for them, not only in monetary terms, but also in the classroom. For example, at PLC level, specialist iMac computers were stolen, and the students need that hard disk on the machines for assessment for their final year exams. Minister, this is an incredibly serious matter. As I've previously stated, the school has lost already over €60,000 in equipment and damage, which makes it incredibly difficult for them to even try to afford security measures for the grounds. The primary point to be made in all of this is that at the end of the day, it is the students that are suffering. The school is known for being very innovative and for offering a very high standard. Indeed, I was delighted that Minister Quinn took up my invitation to visit the school during the year. So impressed was I by the activities in the school, and I know that he was equally impressed. It relies on a range of equipment to cater for a range of very relevant and comprehensive courses. The school is working very closely with the Gardaí in the area on this issue, but the Gardaí also insists that security works be carried out. Again, Minister, I appreciate the limited resources, but the school has engaged proactively on this situation and really do need further assistance as a matter of urgency. Thank you.
I want to
thank Senator Moran for raising this issue as it provides me the opportunity to clarify the current position in relation to the application made by O'Fiach College for funding under the Summer Work Scheme 2014 to address the security measures that she refers to at the school. Last March, Minister Quinn announced that 386 schools would receive funding to the tune of almost €36 million to undertake gas, electrical and mechanical works under the Summer Work Scheme 2014. In a further announcement on the 2nd of May, the Minister announced a second round of approvals under the Summer Work Scheme 2014, and almost €35 million is being provided by the Department under the second round of funding to a further 386 schools, which aims to upgrade toilets and roofs in primary and secondary schools nationwide. The Department has now approved the spending of more than €70 million on the Summer Work Scheme in total to allow over 770 schools to undertake vital improvement works during the summer months when pupils are on holidays in order to minimise any disruption to their schooling. These improvement works represent applications submitted for categories 1 to 6 in order of priority. Commensurate with the level of funding set aside for the scheme, applications were assessed on a top-down basis in accordance with those prioritisation criteria outlined in the circular accompanying the scheme. Unfortunately, due to the scale of demand for funding under the scheme, it wasn't possible to grant aid all applications, including the application from O'Fiach College. However, in accordance with the scheme's circular, the school's application will be retained and will be prioritised for consideration under further rounds of the Summer Work Scheme in the future, subject to the availability of funding. Despite the difficult economic environment, we are continuing to prioritise investment in school buildings, which will enhance the learning and working environment for pupils and teachers. The Senator will be aware that my department has provided significant grant aid to the school in recent years, which has facilitated considerable improvement works. The projects undertaken include refurbishment works, roof works and improvements to the heating system, installation of an elevator, fencing, windows, external doors, electrical and toilet upgrade, mechanical works and energy upgrade. A total of €4.8 million provided for these works. I want to thank the Senator once again for giving me the opportunity to outline to the House the current position regarding the Summer Work Scheme application submitted by O'Fiach College.
Thank you. If I could be brief, and I certainly don't mean to be flippant, Minister, but I mean, there's no point in having state-of-the-art toilets if the equipment isn't in the school. You know, if your equipment is gone and you have bare classrooms, you know, I really do feel that, as I said, I'm very familiar with the school. I'm very familiar with what goes on in the school, and I just think I really would ask that you know, something be initiated, and that perhaps even under emergency works, and I know that I have encouraged the principal to apply for emergency works, that maybe under this grant, because you know, having your equipment stolen, having students then not able to perhaps complete their exams is really you know, just not acceptable. And I do appreciate that we are doing what we can for, you know, to improve it, and I do appreciate the amount of work that has, and the amount of money that has been put into the school. But I do think that security is a huge issue and really urgently needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Yes, well, it's my understanding from responding to a number of PQs about the particular Summer Works programme that schools that didn't make it through the process of scrutiny at this point in time will be prioritised for consideration the next time around. So I suspect that if there is a new Summer Work Scheme applying in 2015, and the school does, its application actually will be retained on file, and those that weren't, as I say, successful this time in securing funds will be at the top of the queue next time. That's my understanding of how the system will operate. So I'd be hopeful that the college can be facilitated at that point in time. There are more than the opportunity to submit an emergency work scheme is there, but I would stress that the criteria surrounding the allocation of emergency work funds are quite strict and dictate that the works set out in the application, if they didn't take place, the school simply couldn't function, couldn't open the next day. So it would be difficult to see how that set of criteria might be applied in this particular set of circumstances, but no harm in submitting an application.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, as I said, I think if the equipment is not there, if the facilities are not there in the classroom, the school can't operate. You know.
Thank you.